very cold, and we'll be right back to near freezing temperatures tomorrow morning. But then we'll have a big warm up. We'll get all the way up to around 70 degrees this Friday. And next week, we'll see some mid 70s. All those details are coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 10, Augusta leaders changing their tune on the future of the boathouse. Why they're taking a different approach to that project. Also ahead, the push for new election technology in Georgia, why it could cut down on audit times. And celebrating President's Day in the CSRA. We take you to the boyhood home of Woodrow Wilson. As your news at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us. As coverage you can count on, beginning with Augusta changing course. If this gets approved, it would be used after the 2024 election. It is time now for our first check of our weather. Jenna standing by with that, and love your talk about spring-like temps on the way.
I love it too, Brad. I am a big warm weather fan, and I am excited for it to finally be warm for not just a couple days with rain, but actually be warm without some rain and for an extended period of time. So definitely a big change from how it's been lately. But here's the live look now at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam over at Washington Road. It's a dry night, a little bit of haze in the sky. We have controlled burns across the southeast with that widespread haze across Georgia and South Carolina. No rainfall recorded here in the metro today. High of 58 degrees. Definitely a cooler President's Day. Our low this morning only at 29, so 10 degrees below average. And definitely colder than what we typically see for this time of the year. And we'll be right back to that tonight and tomorrow morning. Sitting at 34 in Augusta right now, already getting close to that freezing mark. 37 in Evans, 38 in McCormick. Swainsboro a bit warmer at 43, 41 in Sylvania. Wrightsville 44 and 38 in Lincolnton. So pretty big spread of temperatures, but cold for everyone. And satellite and radar showing the clear conditions other than that haze. High pressure is moving in, so not much rain across the southeast. All the showers off the coast of, say, around Wilmington. So winds are very light as well. So with the clear skies and calm winds, we will have another round of near freezing or below freezing temperatures tomorrow. I'm expecting 29 around the 6 and 7 o'clock hour with a calm wind only from the northeast up to around 3 miles per hour. Now, as I mentioned, we will see a warm up starting very soon and continuing into next week. So I'll have all those details coming up shortly, but back to you, Brad.
Jenna, thanks. New tonight, a Burke County mother accused.
News Channel 6.
Still ahead, keeping your heart healthy. A local doctor with advice on how you can make the most of American Heart Month after the break.
And quiet weather overall, another cold night in store, but we are warming up each day, eventually to 70 degrees on Friday with some scattered showers and getting even warmer next week. I'll have all the details when we return.
And I approve this message.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viber 6.
Good President's Day evening. It was a mostly dry day. Good amount of sunshine in the afternoon. We did pick up trace amounts of rainfall south of I-20, say anywhere from Aiken County down to Emmanuel. Definitely not much rain, though. However, we did have this upper level low come through the CSRA, and I want to walk us through it here on Live Viber 6, starting at 4 a.m. Notice this blue color here in Wilkes down to Hancock County, and this starts to expand across the CSRA. And it's pretty interesting that you can kind of see this spin here as that upper level low moves right across Augusta. Now, typically when we see blue on radar, that just means it's some very light rain or drizzle, and that was the case, at least for the most part, though it is possible that some of you may have seen some flurries early this morning. I know we had some confirmed flurries down in Emmanuel County at least, but it did not reach the ground. Definitely no measurable snow by any means. But if you love the winter weather, at least there was a little hint of it today. And that may be a bit about all we have for the season, as it will be warming up to end the month. But this morning sure was cold. We were at freezing or below freezing in some spots, so just cold enough in a few counties to get some of those flurries. Around the CSRA now, we're seeing anywhere from the mid-30s to low 40s. Augusta, our coldest spot at 34, 36 next door in Aiken, 41 in Sylvania, 43 in Swainsboro. A dry night for all of us now. Here's a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam in Aiken. Dew point of 30, winds are calm. Visibility down a little bit because of some haze, but satellite and radar really not showing much going on. Showers off the coast and all this dry air moving in. Now we do have a little bit more moisture out towards the west, so tomorrow afternoon we'll start to see more clouds develop, possibly a few sprinkles in the afternoon, but for the most part another dry day, making it into the low 60s. So 62 tomorrow, 63 on Wednesday, pretty similar both those days. Then up to around 70 Thursday and Friday. We'll briefly go down to 66 and then right back up to the 70s, and not just the low 70s. We could even see some mid, maybe some of us even into the upper 70s to end the month of February. So it's going to be above average all across the southeast. With the warmer temperatures, though, also comes some higher pollen counts. It's going to be medium levels Wednesday through Friday, so keep that in mind. Our future cast tomorrow morning, not showing much activity. As I mentioned, a few clouds coming through later on Tuesday, but for the most part, high pressure is in control. It'll be sunny and dry again on Wednesday. More clouds moving in Thursday night as we get ready for our next system. This will be a cold front, and this will bring scattered light rain showers early Friday morning. Really not amounting to much rainfall, though, under a quarter of an inch. Back to tonight, skies will be clear, around 28 to 32 degrees. Highs tomorrow right around the 60-degree mark, and that 10-day forecast looking pretty pleasant this week. It'll be mostly dry, that 40% chance of rain just for early Friday, a beautiful weekend, and then next week, definitely a big taste of spring. 75 next Tuesday, 76 next Wednesday with a few more showers.
Love it. All right, thank you, Jenna. You know, more than 500,000 people die of heart disease in this country. Going to have the state basketball playoffs continue in South Carolina, and a Monday finish for the Great American Race as the Daytona 500 drops the checkered flag on President's Day. Water.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Georgia High School state basketball playoffs tip off this week now that region tournaments have wrapped up. Meanwhile, we reached the quarterfinals in the South Carolina State playoffs. 4 girls teams still alive: North Augusta, Silver Bluff, Denmark, Olar, and Allendale. Fairfax, they'll play later this week. 4 boys teams alive entering Monday night, 2 of them in action, but both Fox Creek and Strom Thurmond come up 1 game short of meeting each other in the upper state finals. Fox Creek falls to Gray Collegiate 31-23 on the road. Strom Thurmond falls on the road 55-31 to Keenan. Congrats to both of those teams, though, on great seasons. In the Skeeza Independent School 4A playoffs, Augusta Christian boys and girls in action in Sumter. The girls fall to Hammond. The boys take down Wilson Hall. So the Lions move on to the semifinals. Well, they will take on either Heathwood Hall or Porter Gow. In Georgia, 30 area teams reaching the postseason. On the girls' side, Burke County, Butler, Cross Creek, among those winning region titles and getting number 1 seeds. On the boys' side, Grovetown, Westside, and Cross Creek taking home region titles along with number 1 seeds. All those games in Georgia. First round action begins Tuesday and Wednesday. A Monday finish for the Great American Race. The Daytona 500 delayed to President's Day due to bad weather, and, well, exciting race with 9 laps to go. We get the big one. All kinds of cars entangled in this one, including Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., all knocked out of the race with 9 laps to go. Ross Chastain was leading the way, so the 4th and final caution of the race begins. We had a restart, but Alex Bowman into William Byron causes Byron to sideswipe Braz Keselowski. The first one was a 23-car crash with 4 laps remaining. He and Ross Chastain going back and forth, but William Byron, they declare the winner after that wreck right there with 1 lap to go, and he breaks a 9-year drought for Hendrick Motorsports to win the Daytona 500. The last to do it for Hendrick, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 2014. 26-year-old William Byron grew up racing on video games. That's how he got his start into racing, and Hendrick, the winningest team owner in NASCAR history, made his way to victory lane on the actual 40th anniversary of his first Cup win and got a 1-2 finish in the Daytona 500. And what a week it was
Sale at Lionel Smith Limited.
And last but not least, it is President's Day, as you know, and people all across the country are observing the holiday in different ways,
including learning about the history of our first ladies. Joshua Short takes us to the Mary Todd Lincoln House in Lexington, Kentucky.
A hidden gem in downtown Lexington has been telling the story of Mary Todd Lincoln for years, and every President's Day, students spend their day off of school to take in all the history.
President's Day is one of my favorite days of the year because I just love seeing the children in our historic space having a good time and laughing and having fun and just really having an enjoyable, engaging experience with history. I think when they're young like that, it really helps set the stage for how they'll feel about history and the study of history in years to come.
Kids get more than just a tour. All the interactive games are worked into lessons about the former First Lady. And it's something the adults love joining in on, too.
Well, my daughter's in 5th grade right now, and she's learning a lot about history, and I wanted to bring them somewhere where they could actually see something and make history kind of come alive a little bit more.
That comes with the bonus of making an impression on the younger generation.
It's just really cool. I love learning about history, and I just think it's awesome to be able to come here and learn.
And what better way to do that than learn about the items used here?
That a lot of the presidents decide their own plates. A lot of presidents have plates.
At the end of the day, it keeps their young minds working and might even open a new world of information to the young historians.
The biggest thing I want them to take away is a feeling of that was fun. I enjoyed that. That was a good time experiencing this space and having fun with history.
I love it. I think it's great, and I know we were just talking about how a lot of people from all around the world come and visit this house, so to have it right in our backyard is really cool.
little history lesson on this President's Day.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could use a history lesson on presidents. You know, when I was a kid, I used to be able to recite them all in order.
No way.
By name.
I never could do that.
Yeah, I can't anymore at all. I could probably only get through the first 4 or 5.
There's too many. It's like
Yeah,
in the 40s now.
I need to refresh my history. But for a 10-day forecast, it's looking good this week. Plenty of sunshine, mostly dry. We're warming up each day. Another cold night tonight, but all the way up to 70 degrees on Friday with a few showers. Back to sunshine over the weekend and even warmer next week.
All right, thanks for watching. We're back for News Channel 6 at 11.
And Hogan's Heroes is next here on MeTV.
You heard of them?
It was chilly.
Next number down is 53. That's followed by the number 4. And we're going to wind it up for you tonight with the number 50. All right, now for your winning Powerball number, it is 17. And that power play multiplier is 3.
It was chilly today, but we will have a taste of spring very soon. Highs reaching 70 this week, and next week, not only will we see 70, but we could even see 75 or higher. All the details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, a missing Augusta man found in Aiken. An update on the death investigation. Also ahead, the South Carolina primary less than a week away. We're covering the race to the White House for you. And lawmakers pushing to get new voting technology in Georgia. The goal? To improve audit times. As your news at 11 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us as coverage you can count on begins with a Burke County mother accused in the death of her 1-year-old child. Burke County deputies arresting 34-year-old Alicia Stevens today. They got a call to Winter Road just after noon, and they say a 1-year-old child had been found in 4 feet of water. Efforts to revive the baby girl were not successful. Stay tuned to News Channel 6 for more updates. The body of a missing man has been found in Aiken County. The coroner says 31-year-old Damon Parrish was found in the woods near Silver Bluff and Atomic Roads. There will be an autopsy, and a reminder, 21-year-old Caleb White is still wanted for questioning. If you have any information about where he is or just this case in general, please call law enforcement. A former Augusta commissioner will months into that sentence. so far. As we take a first check of our weather, meteorologist Jenna Petracci here with that.
Well, it's another cold night, Brad, that's for sure. Last night we were in the upper 20s to around the freezing mark, and we will be right back to it tonight. Here's a live look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam now in Aiken. It's dry outside with mostly clear skies, but it is pretty hazy. We have controlled burns all across the two-state with that widespread haze. Today's high temperature was 58 degrees, definitely a pretty cool President's Day. And this morning, 10 degrees below average, only at 29 here in town. Right now, we're already close to the freezing mark in Augusta at 33, 35 in Thompson, McCormick at 37, 39 in Millen, and a little bit warmer in Swainsboro at 43. Also seeing those low 40s in Wrightsville. Satellite and radar not showing much going on all across the two-state. We are dry, high pressure moving back into the region with just some showers off the coast. This was this upper level disturbance that we had come through earlier today. You may have seen a little bit of rain. We even had some flurries. Didn't stick to the ground at all. So definitely nothing significant, but nonetheless, we did have that system come through, bringing some very minor impacts this morning. Right now, winds are calm, though, all under 5 miles per hour. And tomorrow morning, calm winds sticking around, temperatures right around the 30-degree mark in the morning, 34 by 8 a.m. So another cool day tomorrow in the afternoon. We will start to warm up, though, as we go into the end of the week. No rain for now. And then next week, we will get even warmer. So I'll have all those details with a look at the 10-day forecast coming up. But back to you, Brad.
Jenna, thanks. It looks like Augusta will do an about-face on the boathouse.
Georgia State Capitol Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
A South Carolina couple is facing harassment charges, eviction, and a federal investigation that could lead to hate crime charges. Warden Butler and Alexis Hartnett are accused of burning a cross in their neighbor's yard to intimidate them. Those neighbors are a Charlotte couple who were staying at their retirement home in Myrtle Beach over Thanksgiving. And now they're pushing for new laws that would lay out the punishment for hate crimes in South Carolina.
We're no different than a lot of people in this room. But we've been chosen for this moment. And whatever momentum that we could use to push this hate crime bill over the finish line, this is what we're going to do.
The couple there accused of burning the cross is expected to be in an Horry County court on March 6th. Federal investigators have not charged them with a hate crime. Still ahead, for the second time this month, California has been hit hard by storms. We'll have a look at the damage caused when coverage you can count on continues.
And on the other hand, pretty quiet weather here. Definitely not much rain for us, but we are warming up each day. Eventually, we'll reach 70 degrees this week. A few showers on Friday morning, and beautiful weather over the weekend. All those details when we return.
This is going to be a...
Happy President's Day from News Channel 6. The live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
I hope you enjoyed your long weekend and President's Day. We had plenty of sunshine this afternoon, a mostly dry day. However, there were trace amounts of rainfall recorded, say anywhere from Aiken County down to Emmanuel. We had this upper level low come through earlier this morning, and I want to take us through a loop on Live Viper 6 so you can see what happened. Notice most of us were dry to start the morning, but then as we look towards the northwest, starting to see some blue on Live Viper 6, and then it continues to move in, and you can actually see the center of this upper level low, which is a pretty cool feature here right over town. You notice that counterclockwise spin as it moves through. Now, a lot of this was some drizzle. Most of this didn't even reach the ground, so it was in the form of virga, as we call it. But some of this as well in our western counties even came down as flurries. We had some reports of that in Emmanuel County, even into Johnson County. But don't worry, don't get too excited. This wasn't any snow that reached the ground or stuck to the ground, you could say. This was just a few flurries that flew in the sky, and that was due to temperatures getting to freezing or below freezing. 31 in Louisville and Wrightsville, 32 in Swainsboro, so definitely just cold enough to have a little bit of impacts, but nothing significant. Around the CSRA, mostly seeing those 30s at the time, 38 in Crawfordville, 34 in Thompson, Aiken at 36, 37 in Sylvania. It's a dry night, a little bit of haze out there. Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam looking good at Doctor's Hospital. 31 is the dew point. Visibility down to 3 miles from the haze, so we have some controlled burns in the area, but other than that, not much going on across the southeast. There's the upper level low now off the coast, bringing some showers out there. High pressure moving back in though, and you can see all this dry air on our water vapor loop. A little bit more moisture out towards the west. That'll bring us some clouds tomorrow afternoon. May run into a brief sprinkle or two, but for the most part, another dry and sunny day. A little bit warmer as well, making it into the low 60s. We'll see those temperatures rise each day. 69 on Thursday, 70 on Friday. As usual, with the warmer temperatures, we are going to get a little bit of rain, and we're also going to get more warm temperatures as we go into next week. So next week's the last week of February, and notice all across the southeast expecting to be above average. Now we also have pollen levels on the rise, so overall definitely feeling like springtime with the warmer temperatures and the allergies. Unfortunately, medium levels of our top allergens later on this week. Tomorrow morning though, a clear start to your day. There's that other disturbance that comes through, bringing a little bit of cloud cover. High pressure staying to our south though. A dry start to Wednesday, and then Wednesday night you can see more clouds approaching from the west. That'll be our next system. So while this cold front approaches on Friday morning, this will bring some scattered light rain showers. Definitely nothing too significant though. Rainfall totals under 1/4 of an inch for Friday. Lows tonight in the upper 20s to low 30s. Highs tomorrow will be right around 60 degrees. And your 10-day forecast showing a nice week in store. Only that chance of rain on Friday, and just for the morning hours. Back to sunshine over the weekend. A brief cool down to 66, but then right back up to the 70s next week and getting all the way up to 76 next Wednesday.
All right, thanks a lot, Jenna. We appreciate that. For just the second time in weeks, California now pummeled by heavy rain. Flood alerts for nearly 40 million people. That's nearly 1 out of every 8 Americans. Storms unleashing up to 8 inches of rain, causing mudslides. High winds, some up to 60 miles per hour, will rip through some areas. Some say the state is prepared. Others say it may not be enough.
We are prepared, but I do still worry because the hills have not dried out from the last storm. And so, of course, every time there's a rain that's going to be heavy, we have to worry about mudslides.
I'm afraid of the flooding for the homeless. I'm very concerned about that.
More rain tomorrow, then it should move out midweek. Still ahead, a commentator facing criticism for what he said after the three-point contest during the NBA's All-Star Weekend. We'll have those details as coverage you can count on continues. But first, the winning numbers for tonight's South Carolina Lottery. Pick 3, 631. Pick 4 tonight, 1409. The Fireball was 1.
You thought rain or shine, don't miss the fun. The live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
It was a record-breaking All-Star weekend in the NBA as the All-Star game recorded the most points ever, a 211-186 victory for the East. But the weekend's controversy came in the man versus woman three-point contest and some of the comments that followed it. Andrew Dimbert has more.
It was a matchup the basketball world had never seen. Stephen Curry and Sabrina Ionescu, two of the game's best shooters, going head-to-head, man versus woman, in a first-of-its-kind three-point contest.
Oh, he got it! Look at him! Oh, he got it!
In the end, Steph Curry won by just 3 points, but it's a moment after the contest that's igniting debate.
She should have shot from the three-point line that the women shoot from. Why are you putting those boundaries on her?
Commentator Kenny Smith saying Ionescu should have shot from the shorter three-point line used in the WNBA, while also pointing out that Ionescu still used the WNBA's basketball, which is smaller than the one used by the men in the NBA.
WNBA ball is smaller.
She shot with the WNBA
Yeah, but
ball.
she should have shot from the line. It's a women's team in golf and it's a men's team for a reason.
And moments later, this exchange between Smith and co-commentator Reggie Miller.
Well, according to you, you want her just playing with dolls, right? No, I wanted her to shoot from the nose.
The backlash online swift, some pointing out that Ionescu's score of 26 was the same score Damian Lillard shot to win the regular men's three-point contest minutes earlier. Hawks assistant coach Brittany Donaldson tweeting, Sabrina hitting the exact score that Dame won with, and the immediate commentary being, well, she should have shot from the women's line, pretty much sums up our experience. Sports reporter Brianna Green saying, shouts to Kenny Smith for once again reminding me how garbage it can be to be a woman in sports. But some coming to Smith's defense saying Kenny Smith was 100% correct about what he said. The timing was off, though. Andrew Dimber, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, the state basketball playoffs continue in South Carolina, and a Monday finish for the Great American Race as the Daytona 500 drops the checkered flag on President's Day in sports.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Georgia high school state basketball playoffs tip off this week now that region tournaments have wrapped up. Meanwhile, we reached the quarterfinals in the South Carolina state playoffs. 4 girls teams still alive: North Augusta, Silver Bluff, Denmark, Olar, and Allendale. Fairfax, they'll play later this week. 4 boys teams alive entering Monday night, 2 of them in action, but both Fox Creek and Strom Thurmond come up 1 game short of meeting each other in the upper state finals. Fox Creek falls to Gray Collegiate 31-23 on the road. Strom Thurmond falls on the road 55-31 to Keenan. Congrats to both of those teams, though, on great seasons. In the Skeeza Independent School 4A playoffs, Augusta Christian boys and girls in action in Sumter. The girls fall to Hammond. The boys take down Wilson Hall, so the Lions move on to the semifinals. Well, they will take on either Heathwood Hall or Porter Gow. In Georgia, 30 area teams reaching the postseason. On the girls' side, Burke County, Butler, Cross Creek, among those winning region titles and getting number 1 seeds. On the boys' side, Grovetown, Westside, and Cross Creek taking home region titles along with number 1 seeds. All those games in Georgia. First round action begins Tuesday and Wednesday. A Monday finish for the Great American Race. The Daytona 500 delayed to President's Day due to bad weather, and, well, exciting race with 9 laps to go. We get the big one. All kinds of cars entangled in this one, including Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., all knocked out of the race with 9 laps to go. Ross Chastain was leading the way, so the 4th and final caution of the race begins. We had a restart, but Alex Bowman into William Byron causes Byron to sideswipe Braz Keselowski. The first one was a 23-car crash with 4 laps remaining. He and Ross Chastain going back and forth, but William Byron, they declare the winner after that wreck right there with 1 lap to go, and he breaks a 9-year drought for Hendrick Motorsports to win the Daytona 500. The last to do it for Hendrick, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 2014. 26-year-old William Byron grew up racing on video games. That's how he got his start into racing. And Hendrick, the winningest team owner in NASCAR history, made his way to victory lane on the actual 40th anniversary of his first Cup win and got a 1-2 finish in the Daytona 500. You know, what a week it was.
Essentially mocking his military service. It's a sick pattern, visiting military graves and saying, I don't get it. What was in it for them? Calling dead soldiers suckers and losers. Donald Trump, sick or clueless. It's time to turn the page. SFA Fund 8 is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hi, guys. The usual? Yes, please.
Before this happened, this happened. And before any of this can happen, this happens. The team at Dominion Energy rolls up their sleeves every day, just like you, to provide the reliable energy to help make mornings like this happen.
Thank you.
Dominion Energy, powering your everyday.
Teen dating violence can be physical, mental, verbal, or sexual in any combination. Teen dating violence can be prevented when teens are empowered through family, friends, and role models such as teachers, coaches, mentors, and youth group leaders to lead healthy lives and establish healthy relationships. We all play a role in helping to prevent abuse. Join WJBF News Channel 6 and Safe Homes of Augusta in recognizing the hidden crime of teen dating violence this year.
This clip from a German game show has gone viral. Check it out. Contestants have to cut objects in half. The closest to getting it perfect wins, and this contestant cut a pretzel perfectly in half. Each side weighed the same. The game show is called Schlagden Star, or Beat That Celebrity. It's just one of the competitions on the show. They do other games as well. I mean, it weighed the same. That's like a flawless cut.
Wow, I'm having trouble even processing that.
Me too. It makes me feel so bad about what I chop in the kitchen. It's never
Right?
even. No, I do tomatoes for taco night, and they look horrible.
Oh yeah, I have not mastered my cutting skills when it comes to cooking. Really cool game show though. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Love this forecast this week too because it's getting warmer. 70 on Friday, a few showers, and then back to sunshine over the weekend, and all the way up to 76 next Wednesday.
All right, Jenna, thanks, and thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Have a great night.